clean this place spotless. And I want to tell you what happened to me at the Verizon corporate store yesterday. I want to tell you about my whole day. It's kind of difficult to do it without revealing my location. Everything's about not revealing my location. Suffice to say, I was in hell. And the thing is, it shouldn't have happened. And it just shouldn't have happened. I called Verizon today, and he agreed with me, the guy on the phone. Sean's like, he's like, yeah. And I said, you know, if they had a different code than what you, I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm going to write a letter to corporate. I'm most definitely going to do that. But I said, if they had a different code, I mean, if my account says, give me $150, period, off of a new phone, and they have a different code than that that says I should only get 100 off, because 150 is for $35 and I'm $30, then doesn't matter. It's just like a price wrong in a store. Like, you send me that code, you honor it. But the thing is, this guy agreed with me too. I told you how the woman felt yesterday who helped me for hours on the goddamn phone. Almost 2 hours. 2 hours. And again, it's not almost 2 hours in the comfort of my own home. It's almost 2 hours in the store talking to her, but I have to be, you know, I can't get too upset or be quiet. There's other customers around. And then I go outside and talk outside. You know, it's like, it's not like 2 hours on the phone in the comfort of your own home. Let's just put it that way, okay? Now, years ago, when I visited my mom in the mental hospital here in Massachusetts, that she'd been in a month and no visitors. And of course, that's going to break my heart because I could put myself in her shoes always. And, you know, you haven't had, the family didn't visit you at all in a month. Like, what the fuck? The reason they didn't visit her is because she lived too far away. I mean, she was in the hospital was too far away. They visit her when it's close. They didn't want to drive. Like Hope said later, like, if that was my sister, and you go and visit the person, they're in the fucking mental hospital, they're terrified, they're in there for a month and no fucking visitors. So Hope, who could be so nice, but then turn on you on a dime, and not talk to you for weeks until you're the one that has to apologize to her, because you can't take the silence even though you're not in the wrong, and you know you're not in the wrong. Anyone in the world, if they knew the whole story, would say you're not in the wrong. Hope's just crazy. Donald Trump's crazy. But she won't talk to you. She'll hold a grudge. And you know, anyway, she helped me fly here to Massachusetts to be my mom's first visitor in nearly a month, okay? It was like just about a month. And of course you're in there and you think that my family's abandoned me, no one's visited me, maybe I'm going to be here forever. No, I've never experienced it firsthand. I don't have to. I can imagine. And thankfully I've never experienced firsthand that. Any of it. Not even close. Nothing. Nothing like my mother has repeatedly experienced. And then you have to say, why? You mean why? Why? Yeah, why? Why did she have to suffer that so much? Why did she have to go through that? Anyhow, I didn't, thankfully. Hope helped me fly from California to Massachusetts back in 2010, I think. Because Hope could be so nice and then turn on you on a dime. That wasn't her son. Her son's just always an asshole. But Hope could be so nice and then turn on you. Years ago, I gave you guys a perfect example of irrational. If you're doing me a favor, and I would say that right now in my 50s to anybody on earth, if you are doing me a favor, right, that you're going to drive me somewhere, okay? You're going to drive me somewhere. In this case, I lived with Hope and Donald, okay? If you're going to drive me somewhere with you, and you tell me what time I need to be ready by, even if it's 5 in the morning. It could be 5, 6, 7, any time in the morning. It could be any time, okay? Okay, but if you tell me that I have to be ready at a certain time, no matter what it is, you're doing me the favor. I'm the one without the car, okay? Then I'll be ready. I'll make sure I'm ready. But you can't way ahead of time say, okay, I'm ready to leave now. When you, I mean, that's insanity. That'd be someone showing up at my house that said, be ready by 7 or 8 or 9, Laura, and I'm picking you up. And then they show up an hour early and expect me to be ready. That's what Hope did to me. And then she gets mad that I'm not ready. But you said we didn't have to be ready till this time. You could have picked any time, Hope, and I'll make sure I'm ready. You can't expect me to be omniscient and to be ready ahead of time. Okay, so I'm flashing back a decade, over a decade. But anyway, I'm at the Verizon corporate store. I walk in. I accidentally left my goddamn flip phone at home because we were so fucking rushed, and we can't even go out the front door because the door wouldn't unlock the other night. It's moving. It's like doing what my bedroom doorknob was doing. I called my contractor. He said just tighten it up with a screwdriver. I don't even think I have a screwdriver, okay? Or I do. I found some screwdrivers. They might not be small enough. I don't know. But I don't have time right now anyway. So I just went out the back door and whatever. The thing is, we had to leave and it was rushed and I had my phone plugged in somewhere else. I didn't have even time. I thought I had it and I didn't have it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I don't have the little text to my flip phone when you can look at my account, my license, and my security code and see, and the person on the Verizon is on speaker saying, give her the $150 off. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. Okay? Now, last night I couldn't give you the whole thing because I came home a drowned rat. Because end of my ordeal, my mom and I had to walk home in the pouring rain. She thinks she's going to call people that are going to come and get us. I'm laughing. I'm like, no one's going to come get us, Mom. No one's even going to answer the phone. You don't screen calls. You don't understand. Real people who they aren't you. Not that she's not a real person, but you know what I mean. She doesn't understand sometimes. She thinks she's talking to a person when it's an actual automated thing, right? And then she was talking about her friend who we want who just came down. But anyway, she's like, she has someone else answer her phone, Laura. I'm like, Mom, she doesn't have someone answer her phone. Yeah, it's not her voice. It's an automated thing. We could have it too, but instead we say, hi, this is Laura, or hi, this is my mom's name. She thinks someone's answering for her friend when it's the automated voice. Sometimes she thinks she's talking to someone when it's the automated voice. So you can understand where my mom's mind is at. We had to walk home in the pouring rain, pouring out. No choice. I was terrified. I didn't care if I could be a drowned rat. It was so windy we couldn't use umbrellas. And my mom's complaining the entire time. I'm trying to protect her walking because she'll walk into the street, she'll walk off the sidewalk. I have to watch out for cars from every direction if they're going to turn or something because she won't pay attention. And it's pouring out. We can't use the umbrella because it's windy. We're trying to hold our bags, and my mom's complaining. I'm cold. I'm hungry. Mom, we have to walk home. We don't have a choice. But it's windy and rainy. I know. Just walk. One foot in front of the other. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just trying to get us home. It's not 10 miles. It's 1 mile, Mom. Please just walk. I'm trying to look behind me and look in front of me, and I'm at least have my hood on and my new $12 jacket. But then she has a hood on her jacket. And she's walking into things. I can't see. Mom, if you can't see with that hood on, you can't just walk, and I can't. I'm holding the bags. I'm holding your purse. We need to walk. We have no choice. This is why we need to move Massachusetts on a bus line so we don't have to walk a mile to the nearest bus stop. She couldn't see. And instead of fixing the damn, and I didn't know she couldn't see. Remember, it's torrential downpours. We shouldn't even have gone. We went to her podiatrist. She'd go every couple months or so, give or take a week, or you know what I mean? And then I was able to go to a Verizon corporate store that was relatively nearby. Not right there, but you know what I mean. We're already out and about. We're already taking every form of public transportation imaginable. And by the way, in the end, I was supposed to get money from my credit card, and I didn't do it because her friend had driven me home the day before when I was supposed to get the money. Remember, they caught me off guard. I didn't have enough money for us to be doing all the things we needed to do. And I would have had to, without revealing my location, I said, Mom, I don't have the money to get home. We're going to have to go out of our way to do this, that, and what have you. And I don't know when we're going to get home at night. As it is, we didn't get home till 7:30. It would have been even later. A guy in a wheelchair overheard me saying that to my mom. We don't have a choice. We've got to get off this bus. I have to go to my bank, Mom. I have to get money. We can't get home. I had almost enough. The reason I even had almost enough is because the train, the guy knows us from before because we do this every couple of months, and he let my mom go in for free. So I had a Charlie card, she had a Charlie card. He's like, just let her go. And the beeping went off. I'm like, it went, and I'm like, what are you, he's like, I like you guys, just, she can go. All right, so we got that for free. Not that this is a big deal, but to someone who's poor it is. Then, when we have to take a bus later on, okay, this was for the train, when you have to take a bus later on, the machine wasn't working. I said, we're trying to give our Charlie cards, the machine's not working. She's like, just go ahead. Like, okay, now we got more money that we didn't have to spend, but I'd already put it on the Charlie cards. It was already out of my pocket. Okay, otherwise we wouldn't have gone through what we got through at night when we just wanted to go home. Then, on another bus coming back, the same bus but just coming back, there were two wheelchairs at the front blocking each way. They said, go in the back. I said, do you want us to pay? The female driver said, no, you don't have to pay. So we didn't have to, my mom and I didn't have to pay again. So we got all that little extra money just because they didn't, it's not our fault, they didn't, he was nice, he likes us, he's helped us before with the Charlie card machine, that I'm not, you know, because I'm sometimes the Charlie card's in and everything's changed a little bit, but I know how to do it now, but nevertheless, he likes us. And so he let my mom go free, and of course, letting her go free, the thing went off. And I'm looking around, I'm like, you don't care that thing's going off? But he's the employee there. No, he didn't care. He let my mom go through it for free. Which isn't a lot of money, but the whole point is he did it. And then the buses, if the machine's broken, you can't pay. And then the other woman just let everybody go in the back and nobody paid. Okay? Simply because there were two wheelchairs in the front. She didn't want people trying to squish through two wheelchairs, one on this side, one on that side. She didn't want people to, we don't have to pay now. Okay, cool. I like that. But again, I'd already put money onto the Charlie card, so there was no getting that back. I was still short. So, I would have had to get off, go to my bank, that it actually wouldn't have mattered if it was closed, because I was thinking, oh my God, we got to get there by 5. No, you don't, Laura. You can go to the ATM, knucklehead. Okay? And the reason that I didn't go to the ATM before, again, I'm trying not to reveal my location, is because the bus was going to come, we were going to miss it, and have to wait an hour for the next one, and we just wanted to go home. I'd just been through hell at the Verizon corporate store. Okay? can't go find an ATM or whatever. I just one step at a time. And I didn't know if I had enough money. I had to dig on my in my purse. Found out that I had not quite enough money. The guy in the wheelchair and just as an aside, in my life, even when Omar and I were on the streets of Hollywood for a week in California, whatever, color doesn't matter, race doesn't matter. I've had people treat me like shit and other races treat me wonderfully and vice versa, okay? So I've been treated like shit by every race and I've been treated really wonderful by every race. It doesn't matter. So I don't sit there and say what race anybody is or whatever. Guy in the wheelchair heard me saying to my mom, I'm sorry, Mom. I know you waited 2 hours, over 2 hours actually, for me, for this Verizon corporate, and you fell asleep and whatever, and I understand that, but I don't have money. We don't have a choice. We won't get home. We have to have money. I'm short. The guy offered me money. I didn't need that much. I needed $2 and something. He gave me $3. He saved us like so much time. Because I don't even know how X was even running to get us home. And we might have had to wait forever. And then Omar's home. And, you know. He's like, how much do you need? I said, not much. 2 something, whatever. He gave me $3. So we didn't have to get off the bus. We could go where we needed to go. Pay what we needed to pay. And get home. Instead of having to detour, like get off. It would have been horrible. I'd already was shaking. I was crying. Once I was, you know, settled down. And my mom's like, why are you crying? I said, Mom, you don't know what hell I went through today. It should have been, look up my account, here's my license, here's my security code, I get $150 off of any phone I want, walk out the store in about 15 minutes since I was the only customer in there. Instead, it was hours later. Hours later. Now that guy that gave me $3, that saved me and my mother from having to get off the bus, go find my bank, okay, and then wait around to get home. I had no choice. If I don't have enough money to get home, then I have to go get money. It's that simple. My mom can cry her eyes out, she can scream and have a hissy fit. It won't change anything. Just like walking home in the pouring rain. And then she's like, but I can't use. And then she's walking into, almost going to fall off the sidewalk. She's walking into someone's car. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? I can't see. I can't see. If you can't see, you push it up. You don't walk blind. What the fuck? And I'm unaware because I'm getting torrential downpours on me and trying to carry my bag. And I took her purse so she could carry her umbrella. She's carrying her umbrella like this, I'm like, Mom, you need to hold your umbrella up so you can see. I am. No, you're not. No, you're not. Look, my umbrella's up. Can you see my face? Yeah. Your umbrella's like this. I can't see your face. You're going to walk into things. And then when the wind was blowing the umbrella as umbrellas do, she puts on her hoodie like I put on my hoodie. I'm like, Mom, we can't have an umbrella. We just have to get home. Please, dear God, I just want to be home and warm. Okay? Plus, I had stopped at the store and got ice cream. So I just wanted to be home and watch The Good Doctor, which is fantastic, by the way, and eat the ice cream and be warm instead of freezing in the rain, walking. And worried about, I have to watch out for me in cars and puddles. I stepped in puddles, she stepped in puddles, and watch out for her. But would I ever think in a million years she's walking blind? No. Like, what the fuck? Who would do that? Why are you walking into that car? I can't see. If you can't see, then you lift your hood up so you can see what is wrong with you. And no, I didn't yell at her like that, but I raised my voice. Okay? Just like I raised my voice in the corporate Verizon store. And as I said to the guy today on the phone, who agreed with me, again, the woman on the phone yesterday was so nice. She ended up changing my account to $35 temporarily. But she couldn't believe she had to do it. And she couldn't believe she was on the phone for hours with me. They treated me like shit. I'm a 7-year customer. To them, it's just, to the woman, well, she was like, well, you didn't conduct yourself correctly. You were yelling. I wasn't yelling. How you would react the same way. My account says, give me 150 off, and you're saying you won't do it. And how I feel is, if their code is wrong, if they didn't get the correct info, they should care enough to go to the back, the manager, and call and say, look, we have this woman has in her account, we verified it with her license, $150 off, but our piece of paper doesn't have that promo. We only have a code for $100 off for this woman who's a longtime Verizon customer. What should we do? Do they do that? No. Why don't you just go to another corporate store? We're not the only, I'm going to file a major complaint. We're not the only corporate store. And usually, people, they send out, this is through the promo department, and we send out free cell phones, but we, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm not eligible for the free phone. I already was told by another Verizon employee last week that I would get a free phone, and he was wrong. It's only for postpaid. But I'm in person now. You know that you sent me, I was sent by Verizon $150 off. You're not going to honor it. And then you're upset with me that I'm raising my voice. The way I'm talking now, was I talking in there? Of course not. Okay? What I learned at that mental hospital from somebody that I visited my mom, that I flew thousands of miles to be her only visitor in a month. Hope helped me do it. It didn't cost that much back then to fly or whatever, it wasn't that much. She lent me the money. But I was upset then, because my mom had told me something on the phone was going on. In that instance, they were accusing her of stealing other people's food. Well, it turned out she couldn't see. She never had glasses, and she wasn't doing it on purpose. And she didn't think to tell them, you have my name there, but I can't see. She doesn't think to do that. But whatever it was, I walked in all dolled up because I wanted them to see what this woman who you think she has no friends and no visitors in a month, and she's just in this mental hospital locked up, and look at her daughter. But what a woman in there told me, she was nice about it. She's like, and then I was in heels. She's like, you tower over everybody, Laura, and you intimidate people. Even if I'm not yelling. I'm upset. I'm upset what's going on with my mom that she told me over the phone. She's like, it doesn't matter. You tower over people and they're intimidated. They can be afraid of you. Okay, but I still, just because I stand nearly 6 feet tall, I still have a right to get upset. I'm not screaming and yelling. I'm nice to everybody. And in this instance, okay, you're telling me that your piece of paper doesn't tell me that I get 150 off, but my account says I do. Like, I didn't say this to them, but I thought about it later. Why don't you go make a phone call? Why don't you care enough instead of just saying, well, we can't do anything for you? Of course I got upset, but I don't get upset and scream and yell and make a scene and call people names or you fucking, no. It's just like my voice raises as anybody would. Oh, but how can you tell me that? My account says that I get 150 off. Well, we're not showing that and we don't have a code for it. And that was it. They weren't going to help at all. The person on my phone, on my mom's phone, said, she was on speaker, give her the 150 off. They wouldn't do it. That's yelling. In that store, I was not yelling. People think it's yelling if you're upset. If you raise your voice at all, but especially if you tower over people. Now, I don't tower, I towered over the female manager who's probably half my age, maybe a little older. It's hard to tell age, but she wasn't that old. She probably was in her 30s. Possibly younger. Not any older than that, though. And I towered over her because I tower over most women. But I wasn't yelling at her. Okay? I was in a state of fucking shock. If my account says give me $150 off and I'm in a Verizon corporate store, and why won't you do it? And if you don't have, and she's like, well, we don't have the code for that. You're only supposed to get 100. You're on the 30. But I don't care what that piece of paper says. My account, you sent me the 150. Go make a phone call. Do whatever. They wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't help at all. Even the Verizon, when I was in a state of shock. I had to leave. I had to go call. I had to say they won't give me the 150 off. I got someone super nice. I could have got a jerk over the phone. I got someone super nice. I could have easily gotten a jerk who said, there's nothing I can do. What are you going to do? And then I wouldn't have rested. It was good to the end of the month. I would have had to go back on public transportation of all kinds, though. You understand? And then I would have had to spend so much time talking to managers on Verizon on the phone and whatever, and said, you need to call them and you need to get this straightened out. This is insanity. It's in my account. They wouldn't have cared if I had the phone with me that said the text. The text on the phone is the same as in my account. They didn't care. Like, how can I be a 7-year customer and I'm in person and you don't care to fix this? Twilight Zone. It's not their fault they didn't have the new info. It's probably a new promotion. It's Verizon's fault, which is why I'm going to write to corporate. But if it's not your fault, instead of saying nothing we could do, we don't have the code for it, go call somebody. I have somebody from the Verizon saying to you on speaker, because she cares so much about me and making this work. She's like, I'm going to get you that $150 off no matter what. She had to talk to her supervisor, and you know what, Laura? This is ridiculous what they're doing. I can't stand it. I look at what you tell them. But in the end, she didn't even tell them, but she was disgusted. And I said to them, they can't believe how you treated me. And the woman's like, how did I treat you? Like, you were yelling. I wasn't yelling! You're telling me I'm not going to get the $150 off that is in my account. Like, how can you do that to me? Go call someone and fix this. She's telling you on the phone to do it. You won't do it. I'm not screaming and yelling. My voice is raised and I'm in a state of shock. She wasn't even sorry.